Hey everyone, welcome to Auto Joe. If you're new to the channel, welcome for the first time. If you're a returning viewer, thank you and welcome back. So today we have a 2016 Audi A6 Premium with a 2.0 turbo 4-cylinder. So the 2016 Audi A6 comes with either this 4-cylinder or an upgraded V6. Today we have the 4-cylinder, which features 252 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 1600 RPM, so you get a low range for your torque, along with all-wheel drive, allows for a lot of passing power, especially from zero. I first want to thank First International Auto Group for lending me this car. Another great review with them under our belts, and I appreciate everyone for tuning in. So let's go check out the outside of the car. So this is a 2016 Audi A6, black on black, black exterior, black interior. We don't need to go into the fancy names of it because it's black, right? So we have a square setup with tires here. We have 255s in the front and the rears. They're Pirelli Cinturato P7s. So overall, I do like the design of these. It's quite timeless. Audi has always done a great job of, keeping their performance and their kind of executive luxury type cars subtle. And I think this is another example of that. So we have the S-line badging here on the sides, which is really our only indication that this might be something a little more special than just your traditional base A6. And these wheels are quite nice too. They're 5-spoke. They're not the best wheels I feel like Audi makes, but they fit this car really well, especially with the chrome detail on the side here. We also have a sunroof here, which you can see on the outside of the car, and some badging in the back as well. I think this is actually one of my favorite Audi rear ends. I'd say the winner goes to the A5 of this same year, but I think the A6 is a great looking car. So while we're back here, we can go over the trunk, which, as you can see here, actually gets quite deep, and those seats fold down, so you get plenty of room in the back. Not quite as practical as a hatchback, but it'll do you justice. So in the rear seats here, we have plenty of room. I have these little cargo nets behind each front seat, and we also have heated seats and venting in the back of the car, which is great. And then if you press this, you have 2 cigarette lighters, because what's better than 1 cigarette lighter? 2 cigarette lighters. This comes down and pops out, and then you have these kind of wonky cup holders here. They'll fit most regular sized beverages, probably around 16 ounces, but you definitely can't get your big gulps back here, so keep that in mind, folks. So another hot weekend here in New England. We're gonna try to keep the AC down, but gotta still keep it on. We have dual climate control here in the front. We have heated seats for both, well, actually all of the seats in this interior besides that middle and the back. We have a heated steering wheel for us here in the front, heated mirrors that also fold in electronically, which is great. We have an 8-speed automatic with a gear selector here. We have a little button parking brake. We have these numbers which you can set to your radio stations, and they're just touch, which is cool. We also have our volume control here, along with skip sound forward, skip track forward and back, which we also have volume control on our steering wheel too. So above us here, we have our sunroof. We're actually gonna close this to get us some better lighting in here. And overall, quite nice interior, I could say so myself. So getting into this Audi A6, we have hard pebbled plastic up top, which aren't really your touch points anyways. We have this okay looking steering wheel. I don't like that it's not the flat bottom that Audi usually does, which we kind of call the D shape here. What I do like about this interior is that we got the wood paneling throughout, kind of gives it a classy executive look. And we got the Quattro badging here as well, which indicates all-wheel drive, guys. So let's get started on that drive. So I've never been an Audi guy. As far as the German luxury brands go, I've always kind of been more gravitated towards the BMWs, especially because they have more aggressive styling. But I think a lot of people who love Audis actually love how subtle they are. So far in this interior, in this 2016 Audi A6, it's really quiet. You don't really hear much road noise from these Pirellis, and overall I think it provides a luxury sound interior. So this 8-speed automatic is quite responsive. I actually really like it. It gives pretty quick shifts, even though it's not a dual clutch. But overall, I think it uses the power band of the car really well, and I have no complaints about it. But switching back into normal mode for this transmission and not using the gear selector, it kind of keeps you in a low RPM most of the time, as you're likely going to be only using the bottom half of the power band because all that torque comes in at 1600 RPMs. So it's not like even if you have to pass somebody, you really don't have to rev the car out too much because all that torque is coming in so low. So this 2016 Audi A6 also features this Bose premium audio system, which works really well. That combined with how quiet it is in this interior, I think you will really have a nice time. So using this Audi A6 as a grocery getter or highway A to B type commuter car, I think is really where it's going to suit you really well. That low torque really kind of provides you a lot of passing power, and you can cruise at comfortable highway speeds quite easily. So I mentioned before that Audis kind of have a reputation of being subtle and timeless. And another great example of that is this interior with this awesome analog gauge cluster. Obviously we can see our digital speed in the middle, but I usually turn that off or select something else and kind of take that away. But overall, I think having the analog gauges was a great move from Audi. So getting that 2.0 liter 4-cylinder in this 3,800 pound sedan, you might be concerned that you will not have enough performance, enough horsepower with the weight number of this large sedan, but honestly, I will assure you this is all you need. So although I think the 8-speed automatic transmission is quite responsive, I don't think that it really responds to your throttle well when it's just in its automatic mode. I feel like it could downshift and keep you in a lower gear when you ask for more throttle. But honestly, if you're looking to kind of do some performance driving with this A6, I recommend just throwing it into manual gear selector mode and you'll have a much better time. So this car really eats up miles quite well. You don't feel much road imperfections or bumps or anything of that nature. I think it's quite serene in this interior. The steering is quite light. You don't get a lot of vibration from the road in it, but I also can't really entirely feel where my tires are. So this 2016 Audi A6 unfortunately doesn't come with Apple CarPlay. It's a little too early for that, but I actually saw online that you can get an upgraded module and get Apple CarPlay for this car. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, you can definitely have it. So our backup camera, as you can see here, works really well. You can see that it has some parking sensors on either side, so you can kind of see where you're going, and it shows you the direction in which your wheel is going. So overall, great backup camera system. So I actually really do enjoy upshifting this car. I think that overall it responds really well with the selectable gears. I know I keep talking about that, but I just drove a brand new Golf GTI, and I think that this has a way more responsive transmission than that. So overall, I'm very impressed with this Audi A6. Hey everyone, so my drive unfortunately got cut a little short with the GoPro, so I kind of had to finish the drive and just kind of make my final thoughts and reflections regarding this 2016 Audi A6. And so I wanted to share a couple things just kind of parked here because I wasn't going to record with my phone while I was driving, of course. But overall, I wanted to just say that this Audi A6 is a great car. Overall, you know, it has 111,000 miles on it and really doesn't feel a day over 60,000 miles, honestly. I think the interior and the performance of this car is really kind of held up over time and mileage. And this is another great car that First International Auto Group here is providing. And so just some of the highlight things that I really loved about this A6 was that it really glided over bumps. I think the square setup with the 255s in the front and the rear, along with all-wheel drive and the low-end torque, create a lot of fun in the low end of the power band. I will say that on the higher end, it kind of falls off around 4,000 to 5,000 RPM is kind of where you get the peak amount of power, and it really kind of is lackluster after that. But I will say that overall, this is a really nice interior place to be. I will say that they kind of didn't do a lot of the best touch points with the highest quality materials, such as the steering wheel and the turn stalks. I kind of felt like they were almost straight out of an Audi A3 or A4. So with that being said, I'm sorry the driving portion with the GoPro got cut short, but I really enjoyed my time in this Audi A6, as I think you will. So reach out to First International Auto Group if you're looking to check this car out. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, and everyone have a good rest of your day. Bye.